Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Urban Assembly Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out videos from all the other sessions once the session is done. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. We are in session C2 this afternoon, so first up we'll hear from Bronx Community College.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to start sharing my screen with you. Okay, welcome. So we have about 6 minutes, so I will share as much information as possible in that time. First, I just want to give you an overview of BCC. We are Bronx Community College, which is located in the Bronx. We're a CUNY campus, so we are one of 24 CUNY campuses in the CUNY system, and we're a community college. So that means we offer associate degree programs, which are traditionally 2-year degree programs. The picture you saw on the cover is actually a shot of our campus. It's super interesting. It's actually a U.S. National Historic Landmark and one of the only colleges with that designation. We were founded in 1957, and our campus is actually originally NYU's Uptown campus. So a little fun fact, and definitely makes it a very interesting place to study. We're also a full campus. So we have 34 buildings on 45 acres of land, which makes us one of the largest campuses in CUNY. So while you're thinking about, whether you want to travel or go away to college, you can have that campus experience right at home in the Bronx. And some facts and figures about our school. I won't go into all of that, but most importantly, we were recently ranked one of the best community colleges in the United States, number 11 in New York and 25 in the Northeast. This is a testament to the type of services that we offer our students, the academics that we offer, and the types of support services that we're able to give to all students. You'll see one of the big figures that sticks out are about 60% of our students are actually first generation college students. That means many of our students are the first people in their family to ever attend college. I always like to highlight this because I think it's super important that we are really supporting those students and giving services to answer any questions that you may have about the college experience, the college application process, and throughout your time, all of those questions that you might not have someone at home to ask. We have all different areas of support that can do that for you. And we're a medium-sized school in terms of the CUNY campuses, but that doesn't mean that we offer large lecture-style classes. All of our class sizes are pretty small and capped at about 20 to 30 students. So you definitely have that experience of a close-knit classroom and opportunities to really make real connections with your professors and also classmates. Even now in the virtual world, our class sizes are capped at about 30. So students are still able to get that support that they need virtually. And then another really important thing that I want to cover is just our value and what it means to attend BCC from a financial perspective. I know this is something that all of us are thinking about, especially now in these times. And I have just a little chart to display a typical tuition at somewhere like BCC, as opposed to some other schools that are popular within our network. And you can see from this chart that we are by far the lowest tuition rate and one of the lowest tuition rates in the country at just a little over $5,000 per year. So it's definitely something to keep in mind as you're applying to colleges. And because of such a low tuition rate like this, so much more is possible when you start at BCC. So we like to say you can start at BCC and finish anywhere. Students that are able to save money in their first 2 years of college typically graduate from BCC completely debt-free with no student loans at all. That's about 9 in 10 of our students. So a big chunk of our students are in that category. And then they continue on. So about 73% of our students do transfer to a 4-year college afterwards and continue on to their bachelor's degree. And there's many reasons that you would might want to do something like this and start at BCC, whether you weren't the strongest student in high school and you need some extra support your first 2 years, you really have the opportunity to make yourself an entirely different student during your time at a community college like BCC. But just getting back to your plans and transfer opportunities, these here are some of the typical schools that we see our students transfer to after completing that 2-year degree here at BCC. And some of the big ones within CUNY are Lehman College. We have something called a guaranteed admissions agreement with Lehman, which means students that graduate from BCC are with a certain GPA are automatically granted admission to Lehman College. This is, of course, the majority of our majors here fall under this, with the exception of some like nursing. And then we also have a similar program with John Jay. We're part of the CUNY Justice Academy. So similarly, if you graduate with a criminal justice degree at BCC, you're automatically granted admission to the criminal justice program over at John Jay. And the list goes on with different partnerships that we have with four-year schools. If you're not ready to make that commitment to go away to school just yet, that's still an option for you after your first 2 years at BCC. We've had students transfer all the way to Binghamton, upstate New York, which is also the premier SUNY institution. So lots of options, even private options. And we're just wrapping up here, so I don't have much time to go on to any new issues or initiatives, but I do want to just share with you some other program highlights, like our ASAP program and also College Discovery Program. These are opportunity programs for students to have, you know, possibly free tuition and other benefits. But I can answer questions and share links about that in the chat. And I'll just leave up for you our contact information. If you do have further questions, you can always connect with us via email or phone. And I also like to share the financial aid info with you. All right, thank you.
All right, and next we'll hear from the door.
All right, hoping you're able to see me. Yes. Hi, everyone. So my name is Jessica Randall, and I work for The Door. So you may have heard of The Door. It's a multi-service youth agency. The headquarters is in Soho. It has various health services. It has arts and rec. It has post-secondary. It has dance. So there's various reasons that youth go down to the Soho site. I actually work at the site in the Bronx, which is smaller, and it's only career and ed oriented. It's for those between 16 and 24. Everything I'm going to share with you that we have is only available for graduates. So you either need to have your high school diploma or a high school equivalency. And we tend to focus on non-college based programming that yields a certification. So I'm going to go through a handful of programs with you that we have. All of them are free. We don't charge any of our participants anything for any of the programming. So one of the more popular programs that we have is a free EMT program. So the EMT program is 9 months long, and it's a partnership between The Door and Hostos Community College. So you would spend the first 2 months at The Door having preliminary training, which we provide a stipend for. We pay for your driving school. We pay for your permit. We buy all of your books. We buy you guys outfits when you need to do your rounds on an ambulance. After you do your 2 months here, you do another 6 months at Hostos training. At the end, you take your EMT state exam, and you're able to be certified as an EMT. And you can take that license to a lot of the states nearby, like Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So that's one of the more popular programs we have because there's only a small handful of free EMT programs in the city. You guys may also have been to a session with Perscolis because I saw them on the agenda. We're also partnered with Perscolis. Perscolis is an IT school. So if you enjoy taking computers apart, putting them back together, you would do 5 weeks here, another 2.5 months over there. Same thing, you get stipended. We pay your books. That program has a paid internship. And so that's like a nice sort of bridge before you actually get to Perscolis. If you're interested in free IT programming, you get a TI certification from that and also NET Plus certification. We also have 3 sort of more manual labor-based programs. One of them is for stonemasonry. This might sound odd, but you actually practice at Woodlawn Cemetery, preserving the old stone monuments that they have. You get OSHA 30, John Mortar certification and scaffolding from that, and all of those students take the union exam after. I'm sure you know union jobs, they pay really well, they're very job secure. We have a similar program there, but it's landscaping. So instead of the stones, it's really, the trees, especially preserving the older ones. Those programs are each 6 weeks long, and they each yield those certifications at the end. The last program that we have that is also more manual labor based, but is like kind of exciting, is our Solar One program. So I'm sure that you guys have seen at the top of some of like the skyscrapers in Manhattan, they have like solar panels on them, or they have renewable lighting, or it's landscaped in a way that it's more environmentally friendly. We have a program for that. It's only 6 weeks. You also get OSHA 30 and another certification from that for green energy. So those are like the big buckets of programming that we have that are all free. So EMT, IT, if that's your thing, stonemasonry, landscaping, and the solar energy program. We also have college prep, but that's more short term. And you guys are hearing from various colleges on this call, so I want to focus on those more short term certification based programs. So I will drop my contact information in the chat if any of you need it or wanted to follow up.
All right, so then we'll hear from SUNY Morrisville next.
All right, good afternoon. Can everyone hear and see me? I don't know.
Your
Okay.
camera is not on.
Is it on now? Is it on now? Okay, that's fine.
No,
I'm
sorry, I don't see you.
That's fine. I'll just share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to start with showing a video of our campus. Hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, so that is an overview of our campus. So SUNY Morrisville is actually located in upstate New York. We are a part of the SUNY system. We are located in kind of near Syracuse. So we're about 3.5 to 4 hours away from New York City, depending on what borough you live in. We do have both associates as well as bachelor's programs on our campus. So students can apply directly into either. You can start your first 2 years and then continue 2 additional years for your bachelor's, or you can start directly into your bachelor's programs. Some of the programs that we offer on campus, which was highlighted in the video, vary from equine science, which deals with horses. We have automotive, we have culinary, criminal justice, nursing, just to name a few programs. This is our website here, which you can actually get more information. SUNY Morrisville is known for hands-on learning, so applied learning. So our students tend to learn by doing, which again was highlighted in the video. So as soon as you become a student at SUNY Morrisville, you're actually going to be doing hands-on in the field work. So our students have small classroom sizes. The biggest class you have is about 20. So we don't have large lecture halls. Our professors tend to get to know their students, which creates a very more like a family-like environment. Because of COVID, we have offered more online courses, but we still have been able to maintain that hands-on experience. So all of the lab work for the most part is still done on campus. So culinary, you're still going to be working in the kitchen with your professors. Nursing, you're still going to be working in your labs and your clinicals. There are safety measures put into effect for social distancing purposes. And we were able to still be able to have the style of hands-on learning at our campus. We are rolling admission, so if you're interested in applying, we do accept applications up until the start of the semester. I do recommend if you're a student in the New York City area to apply before July, preferably if you're looking for a scholarship. I would recommend to apply no later than January. That's typically when we start awarding our scholarships. So we do start giving scholarships with an 85 GPA or higher, and that is on a first come, first served basis. But this is information you guys can go to our website for additional information. Depending, we have the list of our programs that we offer, as well as other videos that cater more towards specific majors. We do also have live sessions where you can meet with a counselor individually or a professor in the field that you're interested in studying in. So if you sign up for that information, we can send that information to you. So that actually concludes what I have to share.
All right, then we will move on to SUNY Buffalo State College.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to virtually meet you all today. My name is Chelsea Kettle. I'm first year admissions advisor in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at SUNY Buffalo State College. I have worked in the admissions office for just going on 3 years. And a fun fact about me, I actually graduated from Buffalo State, both with my undergraduate degree and with my master's degree program. So I'm really excited to talk to you about the Buffalo State experience and kind of what we have to offer as an institution. So SUNY Buffalo State College is part of the SUNY system, and we are a university college. So what that does mean is that we are a medium-sized institution that offers both bachelor's and master's degree programs. At Buffalo State, we do have about 8,600 students total enrolled at our campus. About 7,400 of those are undergraduate students. What's great about that is that we do have smaller class sizes. The average class size can be about 12 to 16 students. And that lines right up with our fact that our student to faculty ratio is 15 to 1. 94% of our classes are also taught with 40 students or less. So the only time you'll ever be in like a really large lecture hall setting, is if you're taking a basic general elective class like Introduction to Art History or Introduction to Psychology. And that's just because everyone else on campus is also taking that class. In terms of what programs we offer, we do have 79 distinct undergraduate major programs. So with all the different variations on those majors, and minor options and certificate programs that we do offer, there are over 120 different programs for you to choose from. Our most popular programs are going to be business administration, criminal justice, communication studies, psychology, biology, fashion, textile, technology, education, and media production. So we do have a really wide variety of different programs that we offer at Buffalo State. One in particular that I always like to stress is our individualized studies program. So what's great about that program is it allows you to actually build your own major based on your own specific academic and career interests. So if, for example, you're not leaning towards one major or another, but you're kind of liking the vibe of 2 or 3, you can always combine them together to make your own degree program. Buffalo State's also one of the most diverse campuses in the SUNY system. 55% of our students are students of color, and we have a number of clubs, organizations, and resources to support our students throughout all 4 years at Buffalo State. We do have also over 100 clubs and organizations on campus, so it's a great way for you to get engaged outside the classroom. In addition to that, we do offer research opportunities and internship opportunities for you to get more of that practical hands-on experience related to your particular major. And we do have community engagement opportunities as well. So that can be done through either service learning or volunteer work, both within the local Buffalo community and abroad as well. And speaking of abroad, we do actually have over 50 study away programs through Buffalo State. A perk of being part of the SUNY system is that you can actually study away through any SUNY institution that you find a program that you would like. So if, for example, you attend Buffalo State, but you find a really great program through SUNY Binghamton or Stony Brook, you can always go through their programs and then have those credits transferred directly to your Buffalo State degree. And that's a really great advantage for students. Buffalo State is located in Buffalo, New York. So we are on the far western side of the state. So if you're looking to get far away from home, Buffalo is a great option for you. We are also actually the second largest city in New York State as well, obviously aside from New York, and that does have a lot of advantages to that as well. So within the city of Buffalo, we have amazing art galleries and museums. We have beautiful parks. We also have a really great restaurant and nightlife scene as well. And our downtown area is only about 15 minutes away from our campus. We are centrally located right in the heart of Buffalo, and we are actually the only college in SUNY with a campus in an urban setting. So what's great is you can always walk off campus, and there's so many things to do in the surrounding area. Another advantage of our campus is that we are all contained in one space. So all of our residence halls, student union, classrooms, and offices are all right there. I'm walking from one end of the campus to the other. You're going to be about like a 10-15-minute walks top. So what's really nice about that is that you're not going to class and then walking a couple city blocks to go to a different class. It's all right there. In terms of affordability, Buffalo State does actually have the lowest fees among the comprehensive colleges in SUNY. And in total, you're looking about $8,700 per year for your tuition and fees. When you're adding on your room and board, that does go up to about $23,000 per year. In the grand scheme of higher ed and college and university costs, that is definitely one of the more affordable rates. To kind of counteract that, we do have a number of grants and scholarship opportunities for students as well to take advantage of. And there are student assistantship and work study programs as well for you to earn money while you're enrolled in school. In terms of athletics, if that's something that you're interested in, we are an NCAA Division III school with 17 different varsity athletic programs. And I definitely recommend that you reach out to the respective coaches to find out more about the recruitment process for the fall 2021 semester. If you, are interested in sports, you can always do club or intramural classes as well. And so that is the end of the presentation really quick. This is just an overview of the talking points that we had and then our contact information as well. Feel free to reach out at any time and take advantage of our virtual opportunities. Thank you all so much, and feel free to put any questions you have in the chat.
Fantastic, thank you. And so next we will hear from Marymount Manhattan College.
Thank you. Great. All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Estrella Redondo. I am the Senior Associate Director of Admission at Marymount Manhattan College. Also born and raised in New York City in the Bronx, first generation college student as well. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers. So I'm excited to talk to you today about Marymount Manhattan College. We are located right in Manhattan. We're on 71st Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. So for those of you that are traveling to us from Queens, Brooklyn, you can take the Q train to 72nd Street. We actually have an entrance on 72nd Street. For those of you traveling from either the Bronx or Manhattan, you can take the 6th train to us. And this is our entrance. Some quick facts about us. We are a small, private, liberal arts institution. We are about a little under 1,800 students currently. And so that'll be from freshmen all the way to our senior students. We offer undergraduate programs. We are in line with being a small institution. Our student to faculty ratio is about 11-1, which means you'll have a lot of one-on-one attention with the faculty. Average classroom size is about 15 students in a class, which again, just reiterating that you will have a lot of one-on-one time with your faculty. Some students will be in classes that are as small as 10 students in a class. We offer a bunch of majors and minors, and I'll go through the list of that. We have a division of businesses, communication and media. We have a major in art and art history. So I'll show all of that to you in a few minutes. We offer over 35 clubs and organizations at our institution, and they range from cultural, religious, academic, social, and athletic. Our next slide is going to quickly go over the residence halls that we offer. So we offer 2 residence halls at Marymount Manhattan College. For those of you who will be commuting to us from New York City, a lot of our students that come from New York City will decide to live at home because you're cutting the cost of the residence hall. But we do have a small percentage of students that come from New York City that want to live in our residence hall, so you have that option. We have our 55th Street Residence Hall, so that is 15 minutes from campus, and a lot of our students will walk to and from. And then we have a residence hall that's usually for our upperclassmen, and that will be located in the Village, and that's our Cooper Square Residence Hall. So you have 2 options to choose from. And here are a list of our majors. So again, we have, I mentioned art before, we have biology, biomedical sciences. There's actually a picture of a student here in one of our labs. We have a lot of connections with hospitals in the area. So our students will do research here on campus, and some of them will go on and intern at New York Presbyterian Hospital or Memorial Sloan Cancer Center. We have a whole division of communication and media arts. We have digital journalism, digital video production. We have the computer lab equipment, the green room. So a lot of our students are doing a lot of hands-on work and getting a lot of hands-on experience in the major. We have a major in English. We have theater, musical theater, dance. And then those programs are actually programs that we're known for. So again, you have a lot of options for us at Marymount. Some of our students, a handful of our students will decide to double major, which is something good to know. Our faculty encourage that, and they really sit with our students to make sure that they can plan that out for them. We also have interdisciplinary studies, so you have the opportunity to even create your own major. We have a career resource center, as does many other institutions, and they're going to help you with finding an internship during college, and then also helping you find a job after graduation. So this is a list of some of those organizations that our students will intern and or start working after graduating. Really quickly, some of our dates. So we have early action will be coming up very soon. So if you're happy with your application, you're ready to send off your essay, your letter of recommendation is ready to go, you can apply early action, and that'll just simply mean that you'll get a notification from us earlier on, but you'll still have up until May 1st to make that final decision. We are rolling admission, so once you get everything into us, whenever that is, right, we'll respond back to you. Where you have a really fast turnaround. So we usually, once an application is complete, you'll receive a decision from us within 2 weeks. On here, you'll have some average GPA test scores. We are test optional, as is most other institutions right now during this COVID era that we're experiencing. And as far as GPA, we're looking for about high 80s on average. We also have an amazing HEOP program, Higher Educational Opportunity Program. Students that are admitted into that program come in with a slightly lower GPA And if students are submitting test scores, slightly lower test scores. For this year, for our HEOP applicants, we're bringing in about 10 students. We are a small institution, so that program is even smaller. For anyone that's thinking about applying for our HEOP program, please apply as early as you can and reach out to me with any questions that you have that I can answer. On this slide, you have a list of our scholarships. So again, we are a private institution, so keep in mind we do offer a lot of scholarships to help cover the costs. And then you would apply using the FAFSA application. And we are having open houses, virtual open houses. And here is my contact information. Went through those last slides pretty quickly. So please feel free to copy my email and my phone number, and I would love to be in touch with you and answer any questions. Thank you so much.
All right, and our final school presentation for the 6x6 is St. Lawrence University, and then we'll have some time for Q&A. So I want to encourage all of our panel participants to drop those questions in the Q&A so we have plenty of time to answer them.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Short. I'm the director of the Higher Education Opportunity Program, or HEOP, at St. Lawrence University. I'm actually going to let my colleague from our admissions team go first, Rashawn Gillis. He's queuing up the slides right now. So I kind of jumped in to do the quick intro. So if you're ready, Ray, take it away.
Perfect timing, Bill. Hi, everyone. My name is Rashawn Gillis. I also go by Ray. I am one of the assistant directors of admissions at St. Lawrence, as well as the HEOP liaison and the coordinator of multicultural recruitment. Long title, but the most important thing for you today is going to be our slideshow as well as HEOP. So we are a small private liberal arts institution in upstate New York. And by upstate, I mean pretty far upstate. We're about 6 hours north, 7 hours if you want to take a break during your trip. But for the most part, we're in upstate New York. It was a predominantly white institution. We were established in 1856, so quite some time ago as a co-ed institution and remain a co-ed institution. We are St. Lawrence University. We're the St. Lawrence Saints, but we're named after the local river valley as opposed to an actual saint. So we're not a religious institution, but we do have a chapel on campus for those to practice their religious freedom. We number about 2,400 students on campus. Generally, we'll admit about 650 students, plenty of land on our campus, and about 55% of our students are women, 45% of our students are men. Academically, our average class size is about 17, and we have a small student body. Our student faculty ratio is 11:1. So you'll get to know the faculty pretty well. They'll get to know you pretty well. And if you are a student of color at a predominantly institution such as St. Lawrence, you're going to stand out in the small classroom, which is advantageous as far as you connecting with those faculty members, having those research opportunities, especially as an undergrad student. As far as our majors and minors, we have quite a few. We have 69 different majors, 41 minors, and we just added esports as an opportunity for our students as well. 80% of our students from 2019 graduate with more than one discipline. So many of our students are double majoring or even triple majoring because we have so many majors that are offered, plenty of opportunities for them to continue with their pursuits. We have economics as one of our popular majors, business and liberal arts, psychology, biology, and government as the popular majors at our university. We have a first-year program that's going to connect our students, especially those who are first generation, to collegiate resources. Tends to work out pretty well as far as them connecting with each other and connecting with faculty and establishing the skills and the foundational skills that they'll need to continue for the remaining 4 years at St. Lawrence University. So the first-year program is really designed to help our students get into that collegiate experience and then transition into the courses that follow for the remaining years at St. Lawrence. We do have an overseas program through off-campus study. 65% of our students will study off-campus and overseas. It's pretty popular for our students, but of course with COVID right now, it's something that's suspended. But for the most part, our students do study overseas more than once. We also have financial aid packages that travel with our students when they study overseas. So you won't have to pay for your tuition at another university. That expense is covered by your financial aid at St. Lawrence. You simply would have to worry about covering airfare and such. And I'm going to get close to wrapping up because we want to make sure Bill has the opportunity to jump in and talk about HOP for sure. We have a strong alumni network. It's rated number 4 by the Princeton Review, and that's based on the connections you have with our alumni and the resources they provide you so that you're graduating with an idea of where you're going to study. If you're looking to study in grad school, you'll graduate with that understanding. But more importantly, job placement is pretty strong with St. Lawrence at 95%, and career services plays a strong role in that. And actually with that, I'm going to transition over to you, Bill.
Okay, you can leave that slide up if you like, Ray, because I didn't do a separate slideshow.
Well, I do have the HOP website loaded if you want to go with
that.
Yeah,
go ahead. Yeah, go for it. That's great. Okay, you can tell we rehearsed, right? So what I wanted to focus on is, kind of two main points. I think when people think about HEOP, Higher Education Opportunity Program, they mostly are thinking about the money. And so I'll start there, but that's not where I want to end, because that's actually not the real purpose of the program. So yes, we do guarantee to meet your full need for all 4 years. And in the first year, we'll do that without any loans at all whatsoever, 100% loan free. So it is absolutely the best financial aid that we're going to be able to put together for most students. But you know, that the money is important, but it's not really the most important thing. You know, my job every day is to make sure my students get what they came for when they came to St. Lawrence University, and that is a great education, access to all of the career outcomes. You heard Ray say 95% of our graduates are in a grad program or a job within a year. That includes HEOP. 97% of my students in HEOP will graduate with a 4-year degree in 4 years, right on time, and are part of that 95% placement rate. So what HEOP is really about is, again, making sure you get what you came for, and making sure that if you want to do a study abroad, you know how to do that, and the money is going to get covered for you as well. How do you connect with career services to make sure you're in that 95%? Every day, I'm working with students to make sure you're connected, you're supported, you have the money that you need, you have the tutoring that you need if you need that, and you have somebody who can kind of guide you through all these systems. Most HEOP students are first generation, and we're very proud of our success rate with first gen students. But if you're not the first person in your family to go to school, then your family probably isn't familiar with the systems, and it will have a difficult time guiding you. And so that's where people get frustrated and sometimes drop out of school, if they don't have anyone who can help them navigate the systems. And that's what we do in HEOP. We start with a summer program, and I'm going to kind of leave it there. I see a question: does this college accept AP class credits? Typically, if you have a 4 or a 5 on the AP exam, yes. And I think that's where I'm going to drop it, because I could get into so much more with HEOP. But I encourage you. Oh, I want to say one last thing about that. For HEOP, I require an interview. This year, because of COVID, we're doing those either as a video chat or a phone call, and we are about to launch the link so you can sign up for that. I will make sure UA knows. So if you are interested and you want to be an applicant for HEOP, your UA folks will connect you up with me for that interview. I think that's where we are. Thanks.
All right, thank you, everyone. So that was all of our presenters for this hour. So now we've got about 7 minutes for our Q&A. So I'm going to invite all of our panelists to keep an eye on the Q&A and either type answers to those questions, or if there's anything that you'd like to answer live, if there's questions that would apply to multiple schools, feel free to do that as well. And I'll pop it back in when it's about time to wrap things up.
Joelle, am I able to share my start my video? Show my camera? Share my camera. Thank you. Okay, so there's a question in the chat, in the Q&A box. Does this college accept AP class credits? So I don't know who this is for, but I'll start off. We do take AP class credits as long as you've received a grade of a 3 or higher, and obviously we'll need that official score report.
There's a question about BCC in the chat. We also do accept AP credits. You just need to send those scores over. But the question in the chat was regarding tuition. So it's a little bit over $5,000 per year for tuition at BCC. And the majority of our students, about 9 and 10, are covered fully for financial aid, with financial aid for their tuition costs.
I'll also answer the question about AP class credits. Same policy that Estrella kind of mentioned, even though we're a different institution. So We do accept AP credits if you scored a 3 or higher on the AP exam, and you definitely want to make sure that you're getting that to us once those scores become available so we can evaluate those credits. We do also accept college credits as well. So if you're taking a college course while in high school, you want to submit those college transcripts to us before you enroll, and then that way we can evaluate the credit and make sure we're putting you in the right classes.
I should mention that, of course, as Bill had said, we do accept AP exam scores and AP credits, so long as you have a 4 or 5 on the exam. But it also helps to reinforce your transcript, even if you didn't take the state exam, if you decided not to. It does show us that you took challenging curriculum. We, as an office, are determined to understand that COVID had an impact on our students, both as juniors and as seniors. So we are looking at the AP exams with a grain of salt. We understand that some exams were canceled and some courses aren't being offered because of COVID as far as AP courses. So we are looking at that with some leniency and some discretion with this year. And as far as testing is concerned in general, we are a test optional institution. Students can tour St. Lawrence by visiting campus, and you will of course share the information as far as visit opportunities via email. Just simply sign up with our university for our mailing list, and I'll make sure you have our contact information. But yeah, simply sign up and we'll show you the visiting opportunities. There are limited tours, but we do have tour opportunities that fall within COVID regulations for our county.
I guess I'll jump in on the room and board prices. You know, Dante, it's very difficult for me to tell you what you would pay for room and board because I'm pretty certain that you would not pay the full sticker price with scholarships and need-based aid that will cover room and board. And the HAOP package in particular at St. Lawrence, which is of course what I'm most familiar with, covers of course, tuition, room, and board, because we are residential. All of our students live on campus. And also we have a stipend with which you buy your books and an additional stipend that you can use for transportation or personal, whatever it is you want to use it for. I don't even ask what you use it for. So if you're in HEOP, the room and board price is covered completely by financial aid anyway.
I'm just going to hop in super quick to answer the first question, or one question about providing scholarships to undocumented students. So at Buffalo State, I'm not entirely sure about specific scholarship opportunities for undocumented students, but I am going to put into the Q&A chat SUNY's policy regarding undocumented students and scholarships as well. So I will answer that for you. And then also, regarding room and board, so I mentioned the presentation for Buffalo State, $8,700 for tuition and fees for the year, and then with your room and board costs, which are about $14,000, you're looking in total about $23,000 for the whole academic year.
I'll just add into that question. Sorry, Shreya.
It's okay, go ahead.
For undocumented students, definitely if you're a New York State resident, to check out the Jose Peralta New York State DREAM Act, where there is aid available for undocumented students in New York State. We have many students take advantage of that at BCC. Unfortunately, we don't have scholarships coming out of BCC for undocumented students, but there are many opportunities such as the Dream USA organization, and we have a whole student life office that does work with students to secure those scholarship opportunities and many other benefits that come along with Dream USA. So I'll share some of those links in the chat.
Okay, so I just wanted to share a little bit on the first question on documented scholarships. So our merit-based scholarships, which range from $4,000 to $18,000, will be available to all students regardless of your status. Any additional scholarships or aid is where it will get tricky. So feel free to reach out to me directly and we can have an offline conversation to see how we'll be able to assist. I do want to also share that Marymount Manhattan College is currently open for individual one family campus tours. So if anyone here is interested in visiting us, we are open. And as far as there was a question here about a writing program, we are starting a BFA creative writing program at Marymount Manhattan College, and I wanted to share that all with you. Thank you.
Fantastic, everyone. So we are just at 45 past. So we do need to wrap things up. But I want to say thank you to all of our wonderful panelists today. Thank you for the robust question and answer session coming through from the participants. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And there were lots of sessions going on today. All of them were recorded. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of those other session recordings on the same website where you registered. And if we didn't get to your question, don't worry. The panelists will have all of the transcript of the questions and all of your contact info, and they'll be very excited to follow up with you. So with that, we are just about done for the day. So I want to say thank you again to all of our panelists and participants, and have a great afternoon.